Hello Cancer friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my report, Cancer March 2021 Astrology Must Knows. The first thing that we have to talk about, and it's one of the most exciting things that you will want to hear, is that March is my favorite month of the entire year of 2021, and I'm going to give you a bunch of reasons why. And then we're going to go into some more Cancer-specific things that are must-knows for this month. The reason why I love March so much, first of all, is because there are way more sweet aspects than there are salty ones. This is rare anymore, it seems like. And in the past, when it's happened, we've had so many things going on in 2020 that were kind of offsetting it. But this month is the only time in 2021 that this is going to happen. So it's definitely something to note, and it's definitely something to celebrate. The percentage, or the ratio rather, of nice aspects to potentially salty aspects definitely, gives the climate, shows us the climate, and is a major force for what that month might be like. The second reason why I love this month is because even though we do have some lingering influence from Saturn and Uranus, that big clash in February, that we don't have any actual clashes in the month of March, and its influence starts to wear more into the backdrop as the month of March moves on. 2020 was full of outer planet clashes. Those outer planet clashes are the ones that bring the big boom. We had them a lot of the months in 2020. We definitely had it in December. We had it in January 2021. We had it in February 2021. And we will have more of this Saturn-Uranus storyline in the middle of the year and then towards the end of the year. But it fades more into the backdrop at this particular time. And so, having a break from those clashes is really helpful. And it's definitely something to celebrate. Another reason why I love this month so much is because we are extricating ourselves from the energies of the personal planet retrogrades. Not that there aren't some wonderful things that can be done during retrogrades. There are, and I've written blogs about this and, definitely utilize them for all their grandeur. But they're not great for trying to make plans. They're not great for having clarity. And to the contrary, they often cast confusion and throw things into question. So we had a brief opening of energies away from the retrogrades at the very end of November of last year, of December, and in the first half of January, and then we quickly streamed right back again into Mercury retrograde. But now, every day that we wear into March, then those lingering post-retrograde, effects will just wear off. And that is going to open us up as the month moves on. And it might be, more towards the mid-month or towards the end, but it still will happen this month. More clarity, more optimism, more certainty, being able to see more than just a couple of feet ahead. That is something that is more of a tendency of the direct transit, not the retrograde. Starting to be able to make some plans and do some things and take some important actions. And if you have to take any important actions, the second half of this month and all of April are really great for doing anything new or moves or, agreements or anything like that. The last reason why I love this month so much is because we're nestled in between the active points of the eclipse cycle. Eclipse seasons bring out a boom again. Besides, those outer planet clashes, eclipses do the same thing. And we've just walked out of that. So we had, November, December, even into January, we had eclipse season. And then in May and June, it's going to be really strong again. But here in March and most of April, we're just kind of in that midpoint, which is like a little resting spot from the very active changes that are going on from that eclipse cycle. So much to celebrate. And I know that many Cancer placements will be very relieved to know this because, you all feel things. I mean, we're all sentient beings, but water placements and Cancer moon children tend to be very, very, very sensitive to all of these things that go on. So hopefully this will give you some chance for respite and rest. Okay, so now let's talk about some things that are specific for Cancer. And the first must know is that we've got lots of energy in Pisces. And that is great news for Cancer because, I'm always chasing those Astro Kisses. Astro Kisses are when planets in the sky come and make an angle that is a nice mathematical angle to your placement. Everything in astrology is mathematical. We have the movement of the stars. They're in certain configurations. They make certain angles to each other, and each angle has a certain quality that it brings to life when it occurs. And the trine is the most favorable aspect in all of astrology. And so you've got the movement of Mercury is going to be there mid-month. Venus is already there. The sun is already there. So these planets are going to be kissing your placement. And so hopefully you'll have some nice creative artistic boosts. You'll have more boosts of inspiration. You'll have, emotional and spiritual breakthroughs. You'll have some boosts to your self-esteem. You might have some clarity that starts to develop about, steps that you want to take. All the impetus to take the steps might not develop until the month moves on, but you might start to get things positioned in your mind, like a little structure that's forming that will take shape as the month wears on. Those kind of things. And also emotional connections, deep emotional connections, romantic time, just things that are important to you from the emotional level, gelling in a beautiful way. And also, again, from the spiritual level, the Pisces energies really bring this all connectedness, the all that is, into the forefront. And this is a language that flows very well with the Cancerian language. And that's what it comes down to, when we're looking at these blending of the planets. They each kind of the signs speak different languages. And when the cosmos is talking water, Cancer understands that language. Okay, so we have all of that going on, and then we have a date of special note, which is the Pisces New Moon on March 13th. So all Cancerian placements will have a chance to have very positive effects from this new moon. But those of you who are born July 13th, and even back to July 8th or up to July 18th, but the closer to July 13th, the more impact, you'll have a direct trine with your placements for this moon. So that's exciting. And if you know your degrees, like if you're watching for Cancer rising, Cancer moon, Cancer Venus or Mars, and Cancer isn't your sun and you need the degrees, then the closer to 23 degrees, the more the positive impact. And that stretches to like 18 degrees and up to, like 28 degrees. So that's really exciting. Some other things, just while we're on the topic of Pisces, that come up at this time of year that are really great for you to focus on, has to do with getting better sleep, getting your meditation on track, having spiritual awarenesses, developing your intuition, anything having to do with like a sabbatical or a rest or quiet time. Gosh, I hope you don't hear that very strange noise that's coming from my neighbors. It just started to be like a thumping. It just sounds like, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, hopefully you don't hear that. But so these Pisces placements also really focus on forgiveness of self and others, and the development of compassion for yourself, and healing of addictions, and solidifying mental stability, and healing ancestral blocks and karma. And even just anything from your personal experience in this lifetime. It's definitely really great for mystical studies and, connecting with people who have crossed over, getting messages from your dreams, anything like that. And lucid dreaming is another really great beautiful thing that you can get enhanced at this time with these Pisces placements. And detoxification. This is a major time for detoxifying anything in your life, whether it's your relationships or your body or anything having to do with your space, through feng shui or through clearing clutter. And Mars is going to come and drive these Piscean forces home even more for Cancers, because as Mars moves into Gemini, this lights up the 12th house, which is the house that's ruled by Pisces. So you guys are getting extra Pisces goodies, and there's a lot to work with there. The more time you can schedule yourself for journaling or, just quiet internal practices and clearing your energy field, the more you might gain the gems that want to come for you at this time. Okay, so your 10th house is going to be accentuated by the sun and the planets that are moving. And that's going to develop more towards the end of the month. And it's And for those of you who are later in the sign, like the July born, you might start feeling this even more strongly into April. But it is coming, and it is in this part of time, you know, on the calendar in this particular time frame. But your work house is going to be very much accentuated. And so that can help you get employment, get raises, get recognition, get more clarity about where you want to go, get education. Education is coming up in a huge way for everybody, but is also still being very much highlighted for Cancers because your 9th house, which is the house of Sagittarius, is very much highlighted. So this 9th house, as it relates to your 10th house, is coming up, which means that education related to career, you know, travel related to work, teaching and publishing related to your employment. Those kind of things combined are all coming up in a big way for Cancer. So if you're trying to launch a book or a website or speaking engagements, March and April are going to open that up in a very, very big way for you. Okay, let's see what else. And this also has to do with religious studies. So again, you're getting this from multiple places in the chart where, you know, something having to do with spirituality or a specific religion or just anything related to that higher power is really coming up in a big way. Okay, so let's see what else I want to talk about. Travel. Travel is also going to be enhanced for everybody because of Mars moving into Gemini, and for Cancers, because this 9th house is accentuated for you still. That's our other travel house. So you're getting this from multiple places. Topics of immigration could also be noteworthy at this time. Many people are going to be traveling in March and April. Now, that's not to say that every country and every municipality is going to have, or every person's circumstance is going to lend itself to travel at that time. There are going to be exceptions, you know, where we live and other factors like that from the astrocartography standpoint put in karmic filters that the general transits have to flow through. So not everybody is going to experience that potential of the general transits, but I can definitely say for sure that travel is getting activated in a big way, near and far. And if you're not going anywhere in March into April, you might find that you're at least starting to be able to plan trips for the first time in a long time with some certainty that you'll be able to pull them through and that there won't be variables out of your control in the global madness that would detract from them. So that's very exciting. If you're looking for clarity, the type of clarity that may come in the earlier part of March is more of an inner clarity where you're like, okay, I'm understanding something, but maybe you can't quite put it into words or see what it means yet. But the translation of the clarity into action is going to be more profound as the month goes on. So you might start to see where you're going to go, but not yet have the things clicking to make it happen. And don't worry about that because the time for action is very near. And if it doesn't start earlier in the month, the end of March and April are definitely action-oriented times. And you're going to be able to take a lot of these dreams and insights and breakthroughs and put them to flight as this time goes on. So in general, obviously, of a profoundly positive month, and there are extra goodies that we talked about from the way that the transits are going for Cancer, because remember, not only are those Pisces placements, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus, going to make that wonderful angle with your Cancer placements, the arrangements in the sky, there are all of these positive aspects that are occurring, and a lot of them are with those Pisces placements. So when those aspects happen in the sky, they're also going to kiss your Cancer placements. So, you know, really look out for the language of synchronicity at this time. I always talk about, you know, how the language of the divine is the language of synchronicity, and that is part of what Pisces speaks very loudly, and water signs speak very loudly, and that's going to be activated very much at this time. So the more you're listening to the language of synchronicity, the more you're going to really start having things light up for you in a really big way. Okay, so if you'd like even more information about the astrology ahead and how you can make the most of it, first go to anniehelpsyou.com. You'll see a little note there that says, "Dear friend, I'm Annie Botticelli," and it will have a sign up right there on the front page. That's where you sign up for my free email newsletter. You'll want to sign up for this because you will get delivered into your inbox 1 month early each month my write-up, a comprehensive write-up of the month ahead, including all the sweet dates, all the salty dates, what you might expect with those, and lots of details about what you can expect for the month and what to be aware of and what to celebrate. Okay, while you're at AnnieHelpsYou.com, click in the right top corner under blog, and I've got all different types of blogs, but of note here with this astrology forecast is my astrology blog, so you can check that out. Then go to cozybysweetstarlight.com and note that in the notes underneath this video, if you click on the little more arrow underneath the video, it will reveal all of the notes with these actual links so that you don't have to just remember what I'm saying, because they're always underneath the video. So you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com, get my written horoscopes for each sign up 1 month early as usual. I like to give you time for planning. Also, I've got extensive different categories for healthy living and astrology kissed living. So herbal teas for each sign, yoga for each sign as the sun moves through the signs. So you'll want to check that out. It's a beautiful site. Then definitely also go to lumelife.com, L-U-M-E life.com. That's my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, and check out the free courses that I have for you. And also you can see my paid courses. If you think I put a lot into my free resources, then wow, you should see what goes into my paid courses. You can check out my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course. Even if you don't want to do astrology professionally, if you want to learn astrology because you love it and you want to learn how to use it for yourself, for your own self-development and help your family and friends, or if you do want to do it professionally, this course is crazy comprehensive and it will prepare you to do whatever you want to do with astrology. So you can see that at lumelife.com, L-U-M-E life.com. And the last thing is to make sure to get my book, my new book, Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe. It's in every major bookseller, all in every Barnes & Noble, every Books A Million in the whole United States. It's also everywhere extensively throughout the world. You can get it pretty much anywhere. And it will help you to do just that, align with the natural rhythms of the universe. It's a very comprehensive book, and you'll go back to it time and time again for resources on how to use all of the astrological potentials in the best way. You can get it on Audible, you can get it on ebook, and you can get the beautiful hardcover version. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.